Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Median. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you like what you see. This is going to be your June forecast. I hate the word forecast because I don't predict per se. Your June reading, intuitive reading, let's put it that way. An exciting month. I feel there's a lot of changes we're all going through, and I've been seeing that from you as well. Bear in mind, these are general readings, which means they will not connect with everyone. If it did, I don't think that's even possible. They do, interestingly, connect with a lot of you. Pieces may connect with you, some pieces may not. It may not connect with you one day and totally connect with you a day later or a week later. So do listen to this whenever you listen first and then at the end of the month, because they do make much more sense. Also, because these are general, listen to it to the other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as sun sign, because they will offer you a lot more information oftentimes. And of course, these are general, like I mentioned, so it's impossible for me to cover everybody. And if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. I decided to do Uranus readings, so I will be doing those within the next couple of weeks. I will let you know when they are done, and I will focus on the entire 7 years of what we can expect for each sign, and that's how my guides are asking me to present this. So it'll be a big picture. So stay tuned. I will be announcing when that will be ready. And I think that's all I have. Have yourself a wonderful month of June. For those of you who have birthdays in June, happy birthday. And without further ado, let's move on with individual signs. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, beautiful Aquarians. This is going to be your reading for the month of June 2018. I'm going to turn down my music. Let me just say that this is my third sign. You're my third sign recording this, and so far they've been extremely powerful, and yours is no different. And I want to put it in a category of letting things go. And with the Uranus coming into the sign of Taurus on May 15th, it may have spurred some things in your life where you will choose to shift or reshuffle some things around you. The number that is around you very prominently is the number 3, which is expansion. So for some of you, this is going to be expanding your business, going in a different direction, or just expanding your business. For some of you, it's expanding your family, in addition to a family for sure. But more than anything, this is about you expanding energetically, shifting your energies to experience more of who you are. And yeah, I'm going to leave it that way. The other numbers are number 1 and 2. So it's choices and decisions and new beginnings. So a lot of sounds like or feels like a lot of letting go. For some of you, this is around being driven by curiosity. For some of you, this is a chance driven by a change driven by a chance, as in, yeah, a chance, no such thing. And for some of you, it's just something that you will need to do you by yourself and for yourself. So those are the energies around you. 3 being the biggest one that I'm being drawn to, which is redefining what stability means to you. And that will be internal as well as external. Let me put some glasses on. I also saw some of you were waiting for results of something. So for some of you, it's a result of a test that you are waiting for. It might be exam. I mean, we are at that time of year, so that would make sense. For some of you, this might be results around pregnancy. For others of you, this is awaiting results for the hard work you have done. And I feel like you've been praying to the universe for change to happen. Well, let me tell you, for many of you, change is on the way, and it's a good one. But it was very apparent to me that you've put a lot of effort into it. You do not have the results of it yet. You're still in the process of waiting to see the fruit of your labor. And this could also be around a payout. It could also be around a recognition of some sort. That is being shown to me. The other thing that I was shown is they actually said, don't be too hasty to jump forward without completing something first. And then they put the word ego, E-G-O, to it. So if you are in the middle of a situation and you are being, actually, let me see. If you're in the middle of a situation, give me an example, please. If you are in a situation that doesn't serve you, jumping into something right away in order to avoid dealing with a conflict or something within you is not going to make or give you long-lasting results. So that would be your ego wanting to escape, dealing with something it feels uncomfortable with. So therefore you choose to do some action that's maybe not well thought out. So that's a message for some of you. Let me see what else. Okay, then we go with cards. The first card you have, which is what's the first message? You have the regeneration in reverse or in protection. And this is all about choosing to let go of something that no longer serves you. In other words, that which is dead, let go of it. Let me see if there's another metaphor for this. Let go of something that, don't hang on to something that needs to die. Obviously, this is a metaphor. And this is about you choosing to let go of something that has certain value to you. It must be very deep value if you're hanging on to it, but ultimately doesn't serve you. He says, explain to them what I mean. What I mean, I want to use the term false sense of security. An example would be remaining in a relationship where you worked really, really, really hard, but the other part of the equation, the other person, is not pulling its weight. And therefore, you making all the changes isn't going to equate to a great relationship. But because for some reason you feel like you need to be there, you think that is the only thing there is for you and nothing else, so you stay. And I want to say the word inevitable. So again, if you're in a situation where something doesn't serve you, and you know it, and you feel it, and you've had messages and signs, for some of you, you've been hit over the head with it several times, but you're still choosing to hang on. Notice what is so important about this particular situation for you, and notice if you can get that somewhere else, because this to me says you gotta let it go. Like, you gotta let it go. And when we don't let it go, the universe will often come in and say, well, I know you're trying, you're having a hard time, let me do it for you. And yanks the proverbial cord, and boom, things happen. So when we do it in a mindful fashion, it seems to be a little bit easier. Funny about messages, haha, and I don't mean funny as in funny, because the card you have is message in a bottle, in protection. This is all about you've been hearing and seeing messages, but you're choosing to ignore them. And if that's the case, ask yourself the question, why? Typically, it's because we don't want to deal with it, or what it is in front of us we are afraid to face, which is not wanting to deal with it. And it is around something that's not for you. And the way it landed, I went, oh my God, that makes perfect sense. So again, this is not for you. And basically the message of this card says, if something is fleeting you, if something doesn't want to be yours, don't make it be yours. It's a sign from the universe that it's just not for you. And I know many of you will connect with this message. It's obviously could apply to anywhere, but this is about just seeing things very clearly. Why? Well, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we have to kind of close our eyes for a while until it gets to the point where it's really uncomfortable, and then we are sort of forced to pay attention. The next message you have is Yang. So this is card number 1, again, Colette's deck. This is about power. This is about the action. And in the way it's being shown to me, it's time to take action. Now, part of the message I also want to say here is don't make any hasty choices and decisions. Make sure they're well thought out. But I feel for many of you, you're needing to let go of something significant in your life, some sort of an anchor, someone, a person, and if it continually gets further and further away from you despite your best effort, then it's not for you. So only you will know what that is for you. Then I got animal spirit cards, and they just kept flying out. And the first one was the cobra, and I thought, oh my God, brilliant. So cobra is an energy that comes in and says, oh, no, you're not going to hide from this anymore. It's a fierce, fierce energy. This is the sheer power. This is your sheer fire, the sheer essence of who you are that says, okay, we're going to do this. It's going to be quick, maybe not very comfortable at times, but we have to get this done. So this is when this energy comes through, it is to awaken you. And typically we get awakened by, situations. Notice there's red around this. To me, this is around sense of safety and security within oneself. Now, if you really think about it, most of the things we hang on to is because of some sort of security or safety it offers us, or whatever value we assign to that sense of safety and security. And oftentimes we will remain in situations for far too long because we are holding on to an illusion of what security is, because security, a lot of it comes from inside. You know that. So that's the first thing that I saw, and I thought, brilliant. Then you have the card of a sea serpent, and sea serpent is all about healing past wounds, healing past relationships, healing aspects of you that are wounded so that you can move on and then somebody else can move on. And this is internal. And it is also about, I want to say, don't blame others for your mistakes. And I think we all do that to some extent, but this is a very message for some of you. For those of you who get it, you'll get it. Then you have the crow. I love the crow. It's one of my symbols. If you ever watched a crow, watch a show on a crow, they're extraordinarily intelligent. They're often connected to shamanism or shamanic methods. So for some of you, this is around healing, and I think that came up before, maybe not for you. So for some of you, you might notice that your psychic abilities are being activated or amplified right at this time. For others of you, this is about you receiving psychic nudging, psychic messages about your current situation and how to deal with it. For some of you, it's pay attention to your intuition. Again, you've got the message in the bottle, ignoring messages. So this is coming around yet again. This is also about resourcefulness. You see this crow is sitting on the world. So basically it signifies the crow owns the world. It believes in it, and so it is. So this is about you taking charge of your life, you using your given talents and skills in order to do what you need in order to get out of wherever you are. And for some of you, it's the word status quo or the word stagnation. Fiercely independent, these creatures, but also they depend on their pack. So they are stronger in families, obviously, right? So the message here for some of you is during those difficult moments, whatever they may be for you, during those transitions, it's important to surround yourself with family or like-minded individual. For many of you, this is psychic stuff. And it's also going to help you deal with whatever you're dealing with. For some of you, the healing may come from some sort of esoteric work, energy healing, shamanic work, some non-traditional medicine. So you may also look at that for you. Then you have the otter. So the otter is a very playful energy. It's an energy that doesn't spend too much time in worrying what is lurking, on the next, on the other side of where it's looking. So this is about employing or tapping into your playfulness. It's about not being so vigilant of, being safe that you basically forget that life is meant to be enjoyed. And I feel this is, again, talking about the sense of safety and security, or false sense of safety and security. Remember, safety and security is what we define it. So I'm gonna let you ponder on that. 4 more cards, traditional tarot. You have 2 of Wands in reverse. You have the Emperor in reverse. You have the Queen of Wands upright. And then you have 6 of Wands in reverse. So again, I'm seeing this as a story. And I say again because I've been saying this with the other signs. First and foremost, it's showing me that some of you either come from not knowing what your future holds, or not knowing where you want to go in your future, or having no future vision, lack of future vision, also lack of inspiration. For some of you, you're leaving that, but for many of you, you're approaching a time where you might feel like you're not sure where you're going to go next. So it seems to be a bit of in other words, there is new, there is other opportunities, those will be happening, you just don't know what those are yet. And why? Because I feel like you're in transition. I also feel that you are either dealing with someone who is extremely controlling, and that's the situation you need to leave, or environment. Or this also signifies, more than anything actually, is that you're not feeling in control of your own life. When that happens, particularly when we get a tower moment, when that happens, it is normal to feel like we have lack of future vision, because, well, oftentimes it's not what we were expecting, and what we were expecting was going to work isn't. So it can leave us feeling a little bit anxious about the future. The message here is your job right now, if you will, is to deal with some hurt from the past. It is to heal old wounds so that you can move on, because that will allow you to be in control, not only of your life, but also, first and foremost, of yourself. So this is the Queen of Wands. That is how I see this message. This is pertaining to what, in order to be this this stable individual, male or female, in order to be this sure, compassionate, loving, strong, independent, you have to let go of some things from the past. Very, very important. And that will also help you with dealing if you're dealing with lack of confidence. So for many of you, again, we hold on to things because, false sense of security. A lot of it is because we don't feel we can do it any other way. So this is signifying that a lot of you have to have some inner unresolved challenges that make you believe you can't do this or that, or you're less than, or whatever it is that's keeping you stuck. Again, that's the healing energy. Remember, you've got Cobra here. Cobra comes in and says, that thing you call security and safety? Well, let's redefine what that is for you. And I always, always say, my passion is teaching in order to help you be empowered. If you feel empowered within yourself, if you feel solid within yourself, then even when a storm comes, you will be able to withstand the storm much firmer, much stronger, much more in a resilient way than if you were quote unquote weak. So I'm not calling any of you weak. We all have weaknesses, but it sounds like some of you, now remember, weakness can always be a strength. It's just on the other side of the equation. So it feels like many of you will be dealing with those weaknesses that you perceive to be weaknesses within you that keep you stuck in a certain area of your life, be health, be relationship, work, abundance, whatever it is, whatever you attract to yourself. Remember, what you attract to yourself is your version of your truth. In other words, if you're continually at a job that sucks, there is something within you, deep inside, that you firmly believe is the truth. Not logically, subconsciously. And is there anything I want to say on that to them? Always remember who you are. For when you remember who you are, you can never go wrong. And then he says, tell them who they are. Ask yourself a question. Who are you? But he's saying, tell them who they are. Okay, so according to my guide, who you are is a spark of the divine or a spark of the universe. In other words, you are the universe. Yes, I know it's a metaphor, and some of you will roll your eyes, but some of you need to hear it this particular way. And he's asking me to give you an example. So whether you call it God, universe, energies, prana, Buddha, whatever it is that you want to call it, we are all that. And the example is, you have a hand, and finger is a very separate part of the hand, but it's still part of the hand, isn't it? So the metaphor is, you are the divine, you are a spark of the divine, therefore you are divine. So I'm here to remind you who you truly are. Therefore, when you remember that, when moments are difficult, it'll help you deal with things a little bit more effectively. Why? Because when you remember who you are, it gives you more chance to deal with something in a much more effective way, because it draws on the remembering that you are made of strength. And I think that's how I want to leave it. Number 7 is being shown to me for you, which yes is July, or the number 7. But more than anything, a lot of you will have many light bulb moments along the way in the next few or next several months. There will be many little awakenings. And it's, awakenings, light bulb moments. So that's what I want to leave with you. It's exciting. It's definitely transformational. Nothing like a little bit of transformation sprinkled along the way, but we are moving to these energies where things are being transformed. So I wish you best of luck. If this makes no sense to you now, I promise you it will make sense to you at some point. Listen to your other signs, listen to your intuition always. If this does make sense to you or how it makes sense, you can comment. I love reading your comments. And above all, I wish you a wonderful month of June. Take care of yourself, and for private sessions, that information is down below. Once again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.